Hi there, welcome to Prime Time. I'm Paul Orford and I'm here with the owner of Low Cost FX, Chris. What I really wanted to talk about today, Chris, is that not a lot of people understand what physical or deliverable Forex is, so I thought it was good to get you on. And you know, most of the people who watch this are in derivative trading, but they never really understood what the core of Forex was. So could you give us an outline of your background and how you got into it?
Well, so Forex is actually quite a simple product and something many people don't realise that the back end of it and what happens. So quite simply, you go to the bank, you change in euros to sterling and the bank will give you a rate. You accept that rate, do your transaction, and you've got £10,000 and you've changed it into 12,000 euros and off you walk. What you don't realise is behind that transaction there's a spread that the bank are achieving on top of the rate that they're giving you. So they may be, for every £10,000 as an example, making £1,000.
Yeah. So you started off in London how long ago, like 10 years ago?
A little bit longer than that, in fact. Show me age now, aren't I? Been about best part of 12 years, and best part of 12 years I was involved in London. Initially, when I was brought into the industry and I went for a job interview, they said you'll be calling directors, speaking to them about their FX and how they process transactions, and basically showing them that you'll be saving them money. And I was like, well, that must be the simplest sale in the world. And initially it was the simplest sale in the world, because people do transactions every day, every month for their business purposes, but they don't look at the back end costs. So it's not unreasonable or unheard of to be able to save any company anything up to £4,000 or £5,000 per month, just purely on transactional basis.
So you've moved over to Cyprus now. It's a really good location for it, because when we discussed prior to this, in the UK, if you're a director or an owner, you're getting battered with phone calls about every day, you know, come and save some money, etc. And it's very rarely done here. So what sort of clients would you have in this country?
So we work with all sorts of clients from A to B. I mean, obviously, we'll only approach an entity that's doing a minimum of £300,000 or £400,000 per year. So clients beneath that, unfortunately, fall below our radar. But generally our sweet spot is clients that do over £1 million plus per annum. But anybody it could be car importers, the major car importers work with us, the major raw materials importers, but we've got one of Limassol's largest steel importers that works with us. And now we have a big influx of business consultants. Business consultants are operating on behalf of global entities, companies all over the world that will need to make transactions through their bank.
Especially like the real estate, because you do get a lot of the consultants who, let's say for example, you got a Chinese guy who's buying an apartment down there for 2 million. He's probably going to get the rate from Hellenic or something like that. So how would you kind of save the guy money, time and effort?
So generally with a bank like Hellenic, they don't have the service or depth to be able to service any individual that's processing a transaction of that volume. They'll give them a set rate of the day. That rate could be anywhere between 0.5% and 3% offside in terms of where the market is, and they'll just process the transaction. I'm sure you can quickly do the math on 2 million quid, 3%, you're talking about £60,000. It becomes a substantial amount. Where we differ is that we become the client relationship manager. We'll offer the client a price that's much more nearer to interbank, just a better price, and save the client the funds on transaction.
So really, if you're like a CFO of a company, shouldn't this be part of your remit to kind of be fishing around for something what you offer?
It should absolutely. What the problems that most CFOs have is they don't have the strength and depth in time to go out and look for this service, which is one of the reasons that I came to Cyprus. We join only 2 other companies on the island that specialise in this service, and we're the only company in the island that have a background from UK. Everything clears through Barclays, everything's extremely swift, clean and crisp, and obviously regulated by the FCA.
So what challenges do people face then, like, to use your service? Is there like, because we're going to have a lot of people who are offshore who watch this, okay, would they be able to kind of use your service? Is there like any challenges there at all?
No, absolutely not. I mean, with every company, it has its challenges in terms of onboarding the client and understanding the process and the business that they're doing. However, once we get an understanding around that from a compliance aspect, generally we can onboard the client, as long as it's obviously not a high-risk industry. As with any bank or fund provider, we need to regulate the client. We need to ensure that the funds that are being transacted, those physical funds, are for a purpose.
Because,
my board.
Yeah, so we kind of shot here because I had a big idea of getting some ships involved, because you can see, naturally we are an island, so if you're a business watching this, then you need to make a transaction, because obviously there's goods coming in there that have to be sold, they've come from somewhere. So it's good to see, in a real sense, how FX works. All right, so what's the best way that people can get hold of you, Chris?
By phone.
All right, what's your number?
You want to give it to you now?
Look down the camera, give yourself a plug.
So I've got, you can reach me on an 0207 number, 444 all the zeros, which is really, really easy. Or I've got Cypriot line, obviously, 99710022, which is easy to contact me on as well. Or you can just Google us, lowcostfx.com. I mean, we're easy to find.
He was staggered to know that Low Cost FX, the domain name, I think would be worth a staggering amount of money with liquidity providers. So liquidity providers, send him your offers.
Above £1 million only.
Yeah, because it's the best of domain, I heard. All right, Chris, thanks for everything.
Thanks, Paul.
See ya, bye.
Cheers, bye-bye.